Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yanelis Rosa for those of you who don't know me, and today's video is going to be a little bit different from what I usually do. And so let's back it up.
Hello.
So last week I had posted one of my sauna sessions, which if you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me. There's a highlight on my page. It's called Sauna Sessions. I'm eating snacks. So basically, sometimes when I'm in the sauna, I get inspired to relay a message to you guys. And so I did that last week, and my friend Katie actually suggested that I do some sort of video giving you guys advice. And so I thought it was a good idea. I put a poll, everyone voted yes, and people sent me some questions. So what I'm gonna be doing today is I'm gonna be going through the questions that were sent to me and answering them, giving you guys just my advice. In no way, shape, or form do you have to follow my advice. Do you have to believe in what I believe in? I'm not a professional. This is just going to be my unfiltered advice, okay? There's my disclaimer. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm gonna be keeping everybody anonymous, just because, I don't know if someone has something that they don't want to share with everyone, so everyone's going to remain anonymous. Someone said, just be my life coach. I need the constant help and motivation. I can be your first guinea pig. I don't know if I would be able to be someone's life coach. I feel like I give really, really good, genuine, unbiased advice. I feel like I'm able to look at things from a different perspective. So, I'm testing something out right now in the moment. I don't know if I'll ever become a life coach. This is not me claiming that I will, but if something that I am working on works, I might be inclined to create some sort of online workshop for you guys, but nothing is guaranteed. Next question. How did you manifest your husband? Thank you for your positivity. Thank you so much. I did not manifest Matt. At least I don't think that I did. I met Matt when I was very young, way before I knew what manifesting anything even meant. So I think that Matt and I were just destined to be, because we always ended up being in each other's lives one way or another. But if you do want to manifest a husband, this is not something that I have done, but this is advice that I have heard other people give. I follow another YouTuber here. Her name is JJ Weezy. That's her IG. And what she says she does is she has a list with all the qualities in a man that she would like to attract. And she even made a vision board for her ideal future husband. So if that's something that you want to try, I suggest it. It sounds like a good idea. At the end of the day, visualization is key and you attract what you are. So I would say maybe be a good person, be kind, be loyal, be caring, be someone that you can count on, and you will attract someone with that same energy. For the next question, let's see, it's in 3 parts. I don't know if the whole thing was coming through, but it was talking about not trusting daycares. She's a mother that works at home, but her savings are dwindling. She's been out of work for the last 10 months, and she feels lost on what she's passionate about enough to try and make it a career, or at least make it have income. So I know that feeling because there were many times where I just didn't know what to do next. It's a very general issue that a lot of people have. What do we do next? And to be honest with you, I think that in my experience, the most I've ever thrived was when I put more effort into getting to know who I am. The more I worked on me, the more I worked on my peace, the more I found hobbies that I enjoyed, the more I hung out with people that were like-minded, the more creative I became, the more willing to put in work I became, the more encouraged I felt. So to you, I would say, I know that having a child can take a toll. I don't have a child, so I don't know, but I know that it is very time consuming. And I would say try spending some more time on you. Finding what you want, finding what your interests are, meeting friends that like the same things that you like, maybe pick up a new hobby, maybe start with your fitness, and maybe that leads to mental clarity. But I know that ultimately, if you ever want to reach a next level in your life, you yourself need to level up first, and then all the opportunity will come. I'm just gonna keep chugging cheese in my mouth. Next question. Do you think dating someone in the same business field, same team as you is a good idea? Girl, I see you. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think that you like who you like, and it doesn't really matter if you're in the same workplace or you go to the same school, or I don't think any of that matters, as long as there is a genuine connection and the relationship is one where you both benefit from. Now, if you see that the relationship is not motivating you, you're no longer focused on your own goals, you guys are arguing all the time, it's not productive, then just like any other relationship, there's no point in being in it. But I don't think that just because you work together or you're in the same field, you should avoid being with somebody. If you genuinely, truly, honestly have a connection with that person, you should pursue it. You know, if you're willing, you should pursue it, as long as it is not hurting either of you or your business or your bag or your mental health or anything like that. Other than that, enjoy. Let's see here. I have a few. What's the one thing you cannot live without? I don't know. Like a thing? I don't think there's anything. I don't know. Maybe like toilet paper, like basic human necessity, like needs. I mean, other than that, you can like shit in the bush. But one thing I can't live without, I don't know. I feel like I adapt pretty well. I mean, I love my makeup, but I can live without it. I love my house, but I've lived in smaller places, you know? I feel like there's nothing really that I am attached to like that. Like, I don't even hold on to pictures like that. I'm attached to nothing. My favorite thing about my husband would have to be just his perseverance, his willingness to just get through the mud. Like whatever's gotta happen, whatever he's gotta do, he'll do it. And I really admire that, because there's a lot of people who crumble when things are hard, but he doesn't. My favorite thing about myself, I think I really, really like the fact that I am so intuitive. Like, I'm such a good judge of character. I'm so good at reading a room. I'm so good at reading people. I'm really good at just feeling the vibe of things and knowing whether or not it suits me, because I'm able to weed out all the like things that don't benefit me, or people that really aren't my friends, or people who are just using me to get to my husband, stuff like that. I think that definitely my intuition is one that never steers me wrong. Okay, when would you want to have children? Oh my God, like everyone, this conversation always comes up. Matt and I don't want to have kids before 30. We travel way too much. We love our life. We love being selfish at the moment. We love waking up whenever the hell we want, getting fucked up on the weekends if you feel like it, getting up and going on a trip whenever we want. For me right now, like this moment, 27-year-old me, I'm not ready for children. In the future, I know I want, and we will have, but right now, like, it is like way back on the list of priorities. How do you deal with hate? I like to think of myself as a very likable person. What is this? I don't know. I'm Italian now. I like to think of myself as a very likable person. I don't really have beef with anyone. No one really displays any signs of hate towards me. It's never been something that was prevalent in my life. Has it ever happened? Yes, it has happened. And how do I deal with it? Very simple. I don't. I feel that the people that hate on other people are just projecting their insecurities on you. It's got nothing to do with you, everything to do with them. You can't change them. You can't force everyone to like you. You're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. So you kind of just ignore them, wish them well, because clearly they are going through some shit right now, because the only person that's talking about you is the person who's got nothing going on in their life. So yeah, I don't really deal with it. I wish them well, and I go on about my incredible life, because I have a very, very great, blessed life, and I'm a lucky girl. Are there any boundaries set when your husband mentors other women? No. My husband is a man that I love and I trust very, very much. I trust him not to do anything disrespectful with any other woman that he's working with. At the end of the day, it's a business and he has a lot of female and male partners. I know most of them. I know a lot of them. And I just trust him to set his own type of boundary, you know, and to just never disrespect me and to represent me in a positive light, same way that I would do for him. You know, I run a business here in Miami where all my employees are like 90% of them are men, and we don't really set boundaries on each other on how we interact. It's just something between him and I that we just have naturally. So no, I don't tell him like, you can't text girls or you can't follow them or you can't talk to them past this time. No, like, it's your business. Do what you gotta do. You know, I know you're not disrespecting me, just like I wouldn't disrespect you, but no, nothing in specific. We're not like that, you guys. We're very unproblematic. We try to discuss things rather than argue. Doesn't mean we're perfect, but I think that we have matured so much that those types of little things are very childlike and not beneficial to a relationship at all. You guys have to trust each other, and if you don't trust your man, if you feel like you need to set a boundary if he's working with a female coworker, then, you know, what are you doing? You guys are not building a good foundation for your relationship. All right. A few more. Okay. What is it like being a wife of someone who is so public? It's interesting because people just know who he is. So sometimes we'll be walking somewhere, grabbing ice cream, grabbing dinner, grabbing something, and people will be like, well, there's Matt Rosa. And sometimes people come up to me and they know me and I have no idea who they are, and they're just like, oh, you're Matt Rosa's wife. And I'm like, well, I have a name. My name is Yanelis. And it's interesting. It's interesting because we do get to know a lot of people. Like our networks are pretty large because we have friends all over the world and people know him all over the world. And sometimes it could be a little bit scary because there's a lot of crazy people out there. And when your life is public and information about you is public, people feel like they really know you when in reality they don't. So, you know, there have been some instances where he's been approached in a way that's just like, you know, weird or not funny. Like if you were trying to be a jokester, or it wasn't funny and it wasn't amusing. But I think that he handles it really well. And as for me, it's just, you know, I embrace it. I encourage it because this is the life that we live, and I am grateful for that. But we do have to be just a little bit extra cautious sometimes. Nothing too crazy that like changes our lives, but some place where we go, we have security, or, you know, we try to live in places that require security to come up to our unit or have access to our home. Little minuscule things like that, but nothing too crazy. I mean, at the same time, we're not these like grand scale celebrities where like everybody knows our name and we have millions of followers. Like, no, it's a little bit more than the average person, but very, very manageable. What do you define as being successful? Okay, so like my definition of being successful, like me being successful, I would say it's a world where my family, my parents are retired, and they don't have to worry about that. It's a world where I am financially stable on my own without Matt. It is a world where I have created something that brings value to other people. Being successful is having successful relationships, friendships, business partnerships, you know, brand partnerships, you know, my own marriage. In the future, when I have children, being successful would mean being a good mom, raising children that are respectful, that know the value of money, that understand hard work, that have a great work ethic. You know, I think successful is a very, very broad umbrella, but if you're asking what success is to me, it's just, you know, a life where I'm well-balanced, well-rounded, financially stable, healthy, my family's good, and yeah, that's what I consider successful. let's see. I think there's like 3 more. Yeah, there's like 3 more. What makes you feel most empowered, and general advice on empowerment? I would definitely say that makeup is one thing that makes me feel very, very empowered. Like when I have my war paint on, I feel so confident, I feel beautiful, and I feel that when I feel that way, I am more social. I am able to express myself better. Not just with the makeup, but just I feel like I can find the words that I need to say better without second guessing myself, or double thinking or rethinking what I really, really truly mean. I feel empowered when I work out. Right after a workout, I feel super strong. I feel super grateful for what my body is capable of doing. I feel empowered when people look up to me. I feel empowered when friends come to me for advice. I feel empowered when my family can count on me. There's a lot of different forms of empowerment in my life, and they are all triggered by different things. But overall, general empowerment, I feel, comes from well-being within you, 100%. And oh my God, there's actually just one more question. Just one more question. Last question. How did you and Matt manage barely being with each other? So are you talking about like when he would travel and stuff? Because if that's so, here's my answer. Matt and I are not attached at the hip, and he works in a field where it requires him to travel often. And I just had to be understanding of that because it's just what came with the territory. So in terms of like, how do I deal with it when he's gone? It's a lot of FaceTimes, a lot of phone calls, a lot of I loves yous. It's a lot of updating each other throughout the day. But ultimately, I just go about my own life. I have my own life here. I got my own to-do list. I have my pets to take care of. I have my house to take care of. I have a business to take care of. So I kind of just try to make myself busy with my things, like filming for YouTube, or making sure I'm getting those workouts in, or spending time with my family, spending time with my best friends, having self-care days where I do like face masks and stuff like that, working on my business, all those types of things. It's hard because I do miss him, and we are used to being together most of the times, but a lot of times he does have to go, and I just have to be okay with that and just keep myself busy, live my own life. Because if I spend my whole time here miserable while he's gone, what good is that? It's not doing good for him because he's not going to feel good about it, and it's not going to feel good for me because I'm just going to go into a state of depression. So I keep myself busy, and I make sure that I focus on making myself better every single day. Like, I think that people see it as such a negative about the field of work that he's in, but to be honest, we both agree that it's kind of a positive because, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and so many things happen throughout the day that we can't update each other because we're not together. So our conversations are deeper and more detailed and more enthusiastic. And obviously when he comes back home, we always go to like a dinner, we have like a date, or we just cuddle here, cuddle with the pups, stuff like that. So I see it as a positive because we get to have a little break from each other and meet up after a few days. And it's like, it's so invigorating for our relationship. So yeah, that's how we manage. Okay, so I found 2 more questions that I had overlooked. Did you guys argue about money? If so, how did you solve the problem? Back in the day, yes, we did have a lot of financial issues, and yes, we did argue. But at the end of the day, we chose us over our financial struggles. And it's not saying that we were like perfect and we're like, oh my God, fuck it, we don't need money. No, I worked a lot. Luckily I had a job where I was able to maintain the both of us if things got rocky, and we worked it out. But I think that the key is to pick your relationship and not pick the problems in your relationship. Because if you can go through a problem or solve something with them and think to yourself, man, in 5 years, we're gonna not even think about this, it's gonna be so irrelevant, then why waste your whole relationship down the drain because of that one problem? You have to let it go. Figure it out, put your heads together, get whatever jobs you guys need to get in order to pay the bills while you're working on your business, whatever it may be. But the key is to stick together, because those type of problems are the ones that make you or break you. And if you let it break you, then you know, what were you doing this whole time? Like, why were you guys even together if you were willing to quit so quickly? And last one, how did you guys get through when you guys had money issues? So I feel like we had a lot of fun even when we were broke. We just always enjoyed each other's company, and we have a lot of genuine friends, and we really enjoy our friends' company. So we, instead of going out and going to the club and doing fancy dinners and stuff like that, we would always have people over, or we would go like on a little weekend staycation somewhere, stuff like that. Just enjoying each other's company instead of like having to do something extravagant to have a good time. That's, you know, as long as you're with the people that you love and you enjoy and you can have conversation with, no matter where you go, you can like sit behind a fucking dumpster. You guys can have a good time. So that's kind of how we managed. We were blessed enough that I had a job that was able to cover all the bills, and we didn't do anything extravagant. We didn't buy designer, we didn't take private jets, we didn't take exotic month-long trips, nothing like that. It was just like, hey, you know, like, let's go down to the river up north this weekend, or hey, why don't we come over, watch a movie, make some popcorn, you know, smoke a little bit. Like, those type of things is what we did for enjoyment. And to be honest, I have a lot of really good memories doing all of that. All right, so that was everything that you guys sent in. Let me know if you like videos like this, or if you yourself have something that you need advice on, and you know, I'll write it down, and once I compile a few, I'll make another one of these if you guys really like it. I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity and trusting me enough to answer these type of questions or to guide you guys in any sort of way. I really enjoy it, like a lot, like it gives me a lady boner. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you at the next video.